Welcome to 2018. New Years are often a time to reflect on what's happened before, and I sat down the other day and it was only then that I realised just how special MotoGP was in 2017. There were two catalysts that made me think deeper about it. The first one was how the season opened. Johann Zarco, an experienced veteran, two-time Moto2 champion, but in his first ever top-flight race, dominated the early going in Qatar, only to crash out just as quickly. It was a sign, and we should have prepared ourselves. We didn't. Zarco this past season was a revelation. The best rookie the top flight has seen since a certain Marquez rocked up. Brutally fast, refused to be intimidated by anyone on the grid, and the shot in the arm for the rabid French biking community the sport needed. 3 podium finishes on an independent tech-free team, including second at home at Le Mans, with 100,000 mad Frenchmen cheering his name. Speaking of tech-free, they very nearly lost their title sponsor in Monster Energy when they moved Smith and Pole on for 2 rookies, but both justified Hervé Poncharoll's decision, Volga himself having a podium in Germany, the closest anyone's gotten to breaking 93's ridiculous streak at the Sachsenring. The vulnerability of Yamaha in general opened the floodgates. Maverick Vinales dominated the early going, winning 3 of the first 5, breaking Rossi in France and stealing Argentina, one of Marquez's signature rounds, but one too many teething problems with the bike meant going winless for 13 straight. The other sign of a mad season? Valentino Rossi didn't need to be the centre of attention anymore. Just the one win at Assen, but his 3-week recovery to race at Aragon after breaking his leg was another reminder as to why the Doctor is still the greatest. The midfield wasn't just Zarco either. They had more moments than many this year. With Dorna flipping more of the bill for the independent teams, we had more breakthroughs in the field. Dino Petrucci had 4 podium finishes, nearly winning twice when the rain came down. Alex Rins went from missing 5 rounds for injury to cracking the top 5 twice of a Suzuki team still reeling from losing Maverick. The patience with Jack Miller was finally bearing dividends as he became a staple in the top 8, including leading at Phillip Island. KTM entered as the sport's 6th factory team and didn't finish last due to ridiculous development and improvement. From stone-dead last in testing to multiple top 10 finishes, Pol Espargaro brilliantly leading the charge, with a resurgence for Mika Kallio as a wildcard. The main title fight came down to Marc Marquez versus Andrea Dovizioso, the latter being the new antagonist, rising from journeyman to outright alien. A rider's rider, smart on tyre management and with the new Michelins, able to get the better of Marquez in not 1 but 2 dogfights in Austria and a very wet Motegi. He answered every potential question we ask of title threats and took it all the way to Valencia, where he finally fell on his sword. But just as importantly, after the last major title fight 2 years back was marred in politics, egos and toxicity between the Yamaha riders and Marquez, this was a fight conducted on the principle of respect and sportsmanship, something the sport badly needed to recover from. Remember, many fans still boo Marquez out of tinfoil hat theories. Marquez centred himself as a future Hall of Famer and potentially one of the greatest we've ever seen. 4 titles in 5 years, combining with a resurgent Honda team that made him a threat to win nearly every race. He's now the greatest qualifier ever, made the field look stupid at Brno with another perfect flag-to-flag performance, and I'd still argue he is the most entertaining and fascinating rider to watch, and had the greatest save in the history of the sport to keep that title alive at Valencia, one that looks like it was photoshopped in real time. I haven't even mentioned the races themselves. It's obvious to mention Phillip Island, which was less of a race and more of a respected punch-up, but look back and there's a handful of other classics. Le Mans was incredible with Rossi, Mav and Johann. Austria was insane, right to the final corner. Silverstone was a fantastic pack race with 5 potential winners. Misano was an exhibition in wet weather riding. Motegi had another all-time great dogfight. The support from the directors showed, and combine that with the best production in motorsport, hands down, and you have a truly incredible product. MotoGP has never looked better. If you've never given 2 wheels a chance, there is no greater time. The video pass is available right now for just 20 quid until the 2018 season starts in March. So give it a crack of some of that Christmas money and see what you've been missing. Because trust me, if you do, you'll be thanking me at the end.